So you want to be a morning person, but you don't know where to start. Lucky for you, I'm just the right girl to go to because I was once in your shoes. Hey loves, today I'm going to be talking all about how to create a morning routine and become a morning person when you're somebody who is just not naturally a morning person. A little backstory, when I was in high school, I literally got sent to the district disciplinary council and they scolded me because I was late too much, and they said that if I continued to be late, then I might not be able to get into college. And of course, I did go to college and I graduated and everything, but even throughout college, it was a struggle for me to wake up for even just my 10 a.m. classes. And then it wasn't until I discovered one of the most life-changing books of all time, Atomic Habits. This was the book that made me realize that change is possible. Now, I naturally wake up around 6:30. I have come to love the mornings. I never thought I could be like this, and I would always look at the 5 a.m.ers and just stare at them in disgust. But now I just see the value in waking up early, and I'm going to be teaching you simple, achievable steps that you can start right now that will help you on the track to becoming a morning person. The main takeaway from this book, among many, realizing that change is possible. A lot of the times we think we're stuck the way we are. I'm not a morning person, I guess I'll never be one, but you can be with the right changes to your habits. What the author stresses is small, micro habits that you can implement every single day that compound over time when it seems so insignificant in the moment. The first step to becoming a morning person is stop trying to make it 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or whatever crazy time that you think you need to wake up at. If right now you're waking up at 10 a.m., then saying that you're going to wake up at 6 a.m., that's just such a large gap. What you would do instead, wake up 15 minutes early. And then once that seems bearable, then you'll start doing 30 minutes earlier. And then 45. You got to work backwards and not just jump straight into, okay, I guess this is it. I'm going to wake up at 6, because you're going to fall off the wagon. So if you really want your habit to stick, you need to give it time. You need to do small changes every single day, 15 to 30 minutes earlier. My second tip is to have a pleasant alarm. On the iPhone, you can set a recurrent sleep alarm depending on the day of the week. You can change it for the weekend. So you'll input your goal, how many hours of sleep you want to get. You should strive for 7.5 to 8 hours, and then it reminds you an hour before your bedtime, it's time to start winding down. If you want to get X hours of sleep, you should sleep within, an hour or so. The sound that you wake up to is so pleasant. Harps playing and a violin. I feel like I'm floating out of bed when I wake up. Obviously, if you want to be waking up earlier, you need to go to sleep earlier. In order to wake up early, you can't be going to bed at midnight every night. Why are you even staying up at midnight? Where can you cut your habits at night and move them to the morning? So if you're staying up till midnight because you're watching Netflix, okay, that can clearly be shortened. If you're staying up till midnight because you're studying and replying to emails and stuff, then when you become your morning person self, you'll be able to move those habits into the morning time with a fresher mind. For me, at the end of the day, I want to use my nighttime to just wind down and have me time and not be on my screen or studying. With the screen time comment, try not to use a phone or electronics 1 hour before bed. So that's where I think the Apple alarm is perfect, the reminder, because it will tell you an hour before. So then it's like, okay, now I'm going to put my phone down, and you're going to replace the screen time with journaling, with reading. You could even use that as time to start this book. So a huge component of this is romanticizing your nighttime routine, making it calming so that it puts you to sleep, and then you wake up in a good mood. For your actual morning routine, the first thing I always do is reach for my journal. Just try to stimulate my mind so that I don't fall back asleep. Sometimes I'll grab my book, and on the worst case scenario, I'm not perfect, I'll grab my phone sometimes if it's super early, but then I make sure I get out of bed within 15 minutes. This productivity journal, I have gone through so many of these. I actually started with just the 5-minute journal. I ended up getting this productivity planner because it's both a 5-minute journal and an actual time blocking planner. In the mornings, I'll always write what I'm grateful for, my intention for the day. And then given that you're going to be going to sleep earlier now, it is so important to prioritize what you need to get done in the day, because that's what's going to keep you up at night if you don't get it done. And that's why I really like time blocking, because I can clearly see what time everything needs to be done. And I know this might seem overwhelming, but having things that you must get done, you do that as soon as you start your day instead of putting it off till nighttime, that's going to allow you to be able to go to sleep early and hence wake up earlier. There's a saying, and it's like the key to discipline is always starting your day with the hardest thing you have to do first. Like I said, keep your immediate morning to you and self-care time, and then the first task that you complete in the day should be the hardest thing and the most important thing. I have the link in my bio if you're interested. With that, with romanticizing your morning routine, grab your journal, make it cutesy. Like, you could start trying to do a daily journal entry so that you have something to look forward to when you wake up, because that's the key. Whether it's your skincare routine, your breakfast, listening to a podcast, you want to find something in your morning that you can almost do as a ritual so that you are excited to get up. I was excited to be productive. That was a motivator for me. So having that daily activity that I needed to do just to like check it off was a huge catalyst in helping me get up. I just got these speakers. I'll play this quiet cottage morning playlist and get ready, do my skincare, and I find that it makes me feel like I'm almost like in the Vogue get ready with me videos, and I just have fun with it and put on my robe, make it almost like you're in a movie, you're the main character. Okay, this is another tip that I honestly haven't really heard many people say. Acknowledging you are getting ahead of people when you have a morning routine. Most people, they wake up for work and they don't really do anything prior for themselves. So if you are intentionally cutting out a portion of your morning before you give it to anyone else, you use that time for you pour into yourself, then you're already starting your day ahead of the game and ahead of the majority of people. And to me, that's so motivating. I guess it's maybe because I'm a little bit competitive, but there's just something about knowing that I'm the only one awake right now who's being productive. We're not necessarily checking our emails and things like that. Like, this is more of a time that you should use for you. Like I said, before you can give it to everyone else, you should be able to fill up your own cup for the morning. My next tip is so obvious and simple, yet a lot of people don't do it. Having your windows open when you go to sleep so that you wake up to the sunlight. When I tell you that the times that I've gone to hotels, I could sleep honestly till like 11 a.m. because my body doesn't know when it's morning. Have your blinds open. Super simple. Easy to do. Get rid of the blackout curtains, save them for the weekends. My next tip is to keep a consistent sleep schedule. So if you're trying to go to bed at 9 p.m., you'll likely, honestly, sorry to burst your bubble, but you're probably going to end up sleeping at 9 p.m. on weekends too, because that's just what your body is going to end up getting used to, and it's going to be easier for your body to be on that schedule. For the most part, I know this sounds lame, but I do go to bed before 10 p.m. every night, and then on weekends, like if I'm staying out longer with friends, I either try to move the dinner up earlier, so I'll be like, can we just go to dinner at 5:30 or 6, and usually that doesn't keep us out too late, but balance is key. Sometimes you're gonna stay out later nights, but for the most part, you want the average time you go to bed to be earlier and consistent. And then with that comes setting boundaries. Like, you have to tell your friends, hey, look, I'm a morning person now. I go to bed at this time. I don't check my emails or my texts at this time because I am getting ready for bed. A lot of people were not used to me setting these boundaries at first, but now they're so used to it. They're like, oh, it's 7:30, Liz is probably asleep. And it's true. I probably am, where I'm just in bed, I'm reading, I'm trying to wind down. So it's going to help you feel less guilty about not replying and not having an urge to check. Use Do Not Disturb, utilize those features, do it for you. Like, you need to set boundaries. I also got a DM from a girl telling me that her boyfriend is not a morning person at all. If you live with someone where they're having the TV on or they're disrupting your sleep somehow, that's where, again, you need to have those boundaries. If you want to include your partner, like, make it a challenge for you guys, hold each other accountable. But if your partner just can't have them, I'm sorry, like with my boyfriend, I'm like, you better dim that TV all the way down, or like his phone. I'm like, put in earphones. I cannot have a bunch of light and I cannot have noise. I want to add one more aspect to preparing the night before, and that is lay out the clothes that you plan to wear the next morning. Lay that out, make the decisions the night before so that you can eliminate the amount of decisions that your sleepy brain has to make. Do yourself the favor, pack yourself lunch ahead of time. Think, what would my future self thank me for? Let's just wrap up what we talked about and how you are going to start today to become a morning person. Go to bed earlier, so that you can wake up earlier, but start small, starting like 15 to 30-minute increments. Over time, as you adjust, you'll be able to wake up earlier and earlier. Utilize your phone feature to make sure that it's reminding you when it's time to wind down for bed. Wake up to a pleasant alarm. With that, utilize that 1 hour before bed for you, whether it's through journaling, reading a book. Just make sure it's spent unplugged and away from the screen so that you can fall asleep faster. You want to romanticize your morning routine either with a nice playlist, with your favorite book, a candle, a good breakfast, whatever it is that's going to get you excited for the day. Mindset is everything, so realize that it's possible to change and that you will be ahead of the game. And having a morning routine, I feel like, is the key to getting ahead of a lot of people. So use that competitive energy and realize that you're getting ahead of the game by waking up earlier than most people. Finish the most important things that you need to get done in the earlier day so that it doesn't keep you up at night. And then save non-urgent things for the next day. I really recommend using a time blocking system, your Google Calendar, or just a planner of any sort. Also, don't sleep with your blinds closed. Don't sleep with blackout curtains. Those are so dangerous. Keep a consistent sleep schedule. So if you want to go to bed at 9, try to keep it the same every single day. Set boundaries with your friends, with your loved ones. Let them know that this is the new version of you and you're going to be starting to go to bed earlier. You're not checking texts after a certain time. And this is just how it is. If you do sleep with someone, make sure that they turn down the brightness all the way, utilize that dark screen mode, that night screen mode, all of that, and have them use headphones. And of course, if you want to know more, definitely recommend reading this book. It's not even just about morning routines, it's just about creating a routine and habits in general, and it lays it out in a lot more detail, as you can see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy this one, so go watch. And until next week, see you!